As a Sikh, I'm delighted to be here to address you at this rally to defend freedom of thought, conscience and religion. Sikhism is the fifth largest faith and one of the newest faiths of the world. Some 500 years ago, our faith, the Sikh way of life, our identity grew out of oppression. Sikhs have always been taught to stand up, fight injustice, and for the freedom for all. Sikhs pray twice a day. The last few words of our prayer refer to Sarbat da Pala, which means we pray for all, not just ourselves, for the good and well-being of all. The visible identity of a practicing Sikh is a powerful statement. Our visible identity was given to us so we couldn't hide away in a crowd. We're instructed to stand up and fight for the freedom of all. In the face of oppression, the denial of freedoms, and the right for anyone to practice their own faith. Sikhs have been at the forefront of struggles, and we've demonstrated that we are prepared to sacrifice our lives for the freedom of others to practice their faith. Last week, I was amongst many hundreds of Sikhs that travelled to Belgium, to Ypres, a town in Belgium, to mark remembrance on the 11th of November. We paid tribute to tens of thousands of Sikhs who sacrificed their lives for the freedom for the people of Europe some 90 years ago. Those images of Sikhs 90 years ago, those do really come home. We gave out this postcard, which some of you may be able to see. The Sikhs that fought 90 years ago had a visible identity. That very visible identity now is at stake, not just in France, not just in Belgium, Germany, Denmark, but in the UK. Every week, cases are brought to our attention of Sikhs that are suffering because of the way they look. If I could just refer to the last 7 days, when some of us travelled back from Brussels Airport, we can't go through security without the humiliation of having to remove our turbans. Why? Because I wear a bangle, another article of faith. That will go off in the detector. Belgium and Brussels Airport is the only airport in the world that won't use handheld detectors for the turban. This has been something that I know Jean's familiar with. It's been going on for the last year, whether we go to the European Parliament or whether we go to Flanders. Last week also saw a young Sikh who went to take his driving test. He was told he couldn't take his driving test because of his visible identity as a practicing Sikh. Last Tuesday in Edinburgh, many of you would have read about a young Sikh boy who was walking through the park, who was verbally abused and physically attacked. A knife was pulled. His hair was chopped from his head. Last night, a young Sikh contacted us who works at Gatwick Airport. The airport have said he can no longer work there unless he compromises his identity. We live in troubled times. We need to unite. Our democracy and our democratic values in this country are under attack. We will not hide away. We stand shoulder to shoulder with those prepared to defend and fight for everyone's human rights.